Hello, and welcome to this filmmaker's commentary on Honeytrapper, the penultimate short film in this 15 short film run. Yeah, we're coming to the end. The final stretch will be next week. So, Honeytrapper, yes, this was simply for a module called Production Project, where we could make anything we wanted. This was a Cutting Room Productions short film. And the team consisted of Stephen as executive producer and screenwriter, Brad as cinematographer, Ben as camera operator and editor, and myself as director and sound man. However, in terms of sound design, I really think I should not be recording sound, be the sound man at all. A bit more evident in Brouhaha why, but that's a job role I don't think I should try and be an expert in. But anyway, this is quite a good one. I'm an about it quite a lot, but I think this turned out quite well. There's certainly some moments where it is problematic, and we definitely had a problematic production in various ways. But yeah, I think this falters in some parts, but has some really good, great looking, great sounding, great scenes as well, interspersed throughout. So this is about a hitchhiker and a loner whose motives we don't really know. They're revealed throughout the film to be much darker, as the hitchhiker is part of a cult who's been sent out on an initiation murder, whilst the loner is a sort of psychopath who keeps killing people, similar to his wife, I guess. It's not incredibly clear, but yeah, I think that's kind of one of the things that we falter on anyway. So starting out, we are on this country road, and this is like a green screen set for inside this car. We're just literally filming in a stationary car in a car park, and this is kind of where the first problem came up, since the location for these country roads, nice and peaceful and quiet, and we thought it was just a public space until a sort of country road maintenance guy or ranger or whatever he was came up and asked if we had permission to film here. And to be honest, we didn't. We didn't even know we needed permissions to film in this space. It was just public. It was a quiet road. We didn't think anyone would come along to question that. So we did the right thing, or I did the right thing, because I was talking to him mainly, and said, yeah, here are all the contact details, but nothing came of it. No follow-up. There was no emails I got, so I mean, it just kind of stopped production for a bit, really, which was a little bit annoying, but we got through it, and now we are in this very nice location. This house was a great location to find, even though when we were writing the script, in my mind, I had a clear vision that the loner should be kind of in this rustic, dusty, isolated wooden cabin. But obviously that's so specific to find when looking for locations, that this was just as good, really. We had free reign to use whichever room we wanted in this house. And it's very, very large, but I guess that, the size of the house is something that doesn't really make sense for the character of the loner living on his own, but it's still good. Yeah, great location to use, and obviously we were filming mostly at night, to get the right lighting and things like that, and when it was available. God, he's very creepy, just suddenly appearing like that, isn't he? The next big problem, you could probably tell, is the camera grain. Now, I believe we were using two Canon C100s, but one had some sort of grain problem, I'm not sure, whilst the other didn't. So we've got these really clear shots, like this one here, for instance. And I remember that Ben, in the edit, had to add grain to the clearer shots so that we had this consistent look throughout the whole film. So I would like to think that this grain kind of gives it a grindhousey kind of look to it, but really the grain just gets quite problematic at some parts, and you can clearly see that it's just not right. I should mention the score as well. Tate Nichols. He produced our score for various cutting room productions, and this captures it very well. The kind of horror-like, kind of ominous feeling, uneasy. It's good. It's a good score. I like it. It works really well for this. And here he comes creepily back in with his glass of water. Some prop work there. We've got a photo frame with a random picture in it. I think we must have got that off of the internet.
She took very good care of me, and I took care of her. She was my timid little mouse, and I miss her dearly.
I should also mention that production was hampered by a snowstorm, since this was shot at the start of 2018. Was it 2018? It must have been 2018. And we had a snowstorm, and we couldn't really get to the location in time. Production was delayed by a couple of days, maybe even up to a week, because it was just snowing so much. And we were driving to this location using Brad's car. You saw it earlier. And Brad's car was also another problem, because it was old and rusty, and it did very well getting us there and back, but it did have a heating problem, so we would have to stop and fill it with coolant and water. So those are two big problems: the transportation, taking the taking the crew and the equipment to the location, and a snowstorm blocking the way.
Oh, good evening, miss.
The police officer. He's a decent bit part here with the police officer, warning that there's a cult of hitchhikers killing people.
Look out for a gang who's posing as hitchhikers. You haven't seen them today, have you?
What's this all about?
Hitchhikers, sir.
I do quite like the interaction here with the three characters. There is some very subtle acting going on there as he looks at sort of the mid-twist, I guess.
But if you haven't seen anybody, I shall leave you to it. Don't forget to lock all your windows and doors tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Constable.
And I do wonder if police officers, constables, wear those kind of hats anymore. And then the slow close of the door, and the score comes in there. Now, I love this bit. I think this bit was done really well. Just the lighting and just how everything goes on here. Especially love him rummaging through the backpack and pulling out these various things, and then his reaction shots. Pulls out the batteries of the walkie-talkie there. I like this bit too.
Let me go.
These two shots I think are fantastic. And then this bit here where he's gonna twang the knife. He improvised that bit.
Pleasant dreams.
God, he really is a creepy guy now, isn't he? Not so much a loner. Now here, yeah, you can just see the grain again here. It's problematic. And I think this is something that's been done before. I'm sure I've seen this happen somewhere else recently, but yeah, finding human hair in a pillowcase. And I didn't actually realise how quiet this bit is, really. There isn't any sound effects, or the score kind of tapers out here, and it's just kind of room tone, which actually, thinking about it, does work quite well. Kind of that silent uneasiness, sneaking around in the dark and in the quiet, trying to not to draw attention. Oh dear, my sound editing isn't great there, really. Yeah, I really should stay off of the sound effects and
You can't get out.
sound recording, really. That also was quite odd, because it's meant to be like an echoey kind of speech, dialogue, I don't know, throughout the house, because obviously he's not in the room at the moment, so I like that shot. That shot's really good. And I love how he starts to move threateningly towards her. And then, yeah, he improvised that too, tapping the knife. He really got into the role. Just a quick knee to the balls or something, and he's down. Now here is also kind of problematic. That noise, and it's not clear because we didn't show it, even though we built it, but here she's meant to be trapped in a bear trap, have her ankle caught in it. But we didn't shoot anything involving it, despite spending a whole day, or a whole couple of days even, myself and Stephen building a bear trap prop. I'll see if I can put up some images here, but yeah, it's a shame we didn't put that in. But it would have also looked like it was a cardboard prop, probably. And then this whole final, this climax, this bathroom scene is a bit of a dead end, really. Which maybe is intentional, thinking about it, but I like how they're kind of meant to be equally matched here. You know, they're still duping each other, but we do end up with this sort of classic student ambiguous ending that isn't really that satisfying. Lights go out, who's going to win? Does she stab him, or does he inject her with that medicine syringe full of facial cream or whatever it was? I don't think we really thought about our ending that well, to be honest. Although I'm sure we had the idea that we could put the hitchhiker's heavy breathing or something over the credits here, but we never came to it in the end. It's just that she won. Or rather, a good way would be to have one of those beginning shots where she's sitting on the side of the road again, and the whole thing happens over again. But yeah, that was Honeytrapper. It's decent, I think. I think you can see there's a lot of hard work put into it from everyone. There are still bits that don't come across as well as they could have. There's a fair amount of improvement, but there's also a lot of shots that I think we did fantastically. That shot of the loner with the knife looking threateningly into camera, that's in my show reel, and I really like that shot. So if anything, out of a 14-minute short film, one single shot is the one thing that I like the most. But anyway, yeah, Honeytrapper. Next week, final short film. Short film number 15. And that'll be Brouhaha, which is my baby, really. And that also is a bit like this, really. I still love it, but there are parts that are disappointing, and I wish I could have done better. But we'll talk more about that next week. So, see you next time for the final short film, Brouhaha. Bye.